As you can see, the QueenBee Pro by Bulkman 3D is big. Oh, hey there, Mission Control. It has been a while since I've got a mic and the real camera going here. Yesterday I did a quick video update for you on where we're at with things. Today, we got a mail package, mail delivery, UPS, the big brown rocket made it here. Big brown rocket ship, is what I called it. Go back and watch like the first video I ever did. You'll see what I mean by that. But hey, got the heat pump going. I actually have the diesel heater going as well because it's freezing outside. It's snowing actually right now. And today we are going to be tackling a very exciting project. It's on the scale of the 3D printer. And those that watched the last video update, you probably know what that is. We are going to be building a CNC router table. So I got it in the truck. We got lots of install to do. I wanted to get warm in here so I can warm my hands up. And then we're going to turn the heater around. We're going to get the workshop going. And we're actually going to be setting up the CNC router table today. And I got the bits. Got bits for it. Different types of bits that we're going to be using. And then all these boxes here are actually for the Grow Tower version 2.1, which is what we're working on here. Ooh, look at this. Even have printed its new computer monitor case. Very nice. Ooh, very nice indeed. So, a little bit warmer. I'm going to get some hot water boiling, and so I can have some hot water out here. It's very nice having hot water. I've been listening to some C.S. Lewis books. I highly encourage you all to check out C.S. Lewis. He's amazing. What is the one I'm listening to? It's his space series, which I never even knew he had. It is. The first one is Out of the Silent Planet, which is really cool, and the second one is Paralandra. I got 3 hours left on that, so I've had to resort back. I had to resort back to my wired Bluetooth earbuds because Mrs. Martian has taken the set of earbuds that stays out here. So I'm on that, but it works. You know, getting stuff done. You gotta be comfortable, have a good time. So. Let's get started. I'm excited. It's gonna be a great day. These little water boilers are just fantastic. Whoops, you gotta turn the water on though. I left the water on, and we have a hydrant, water hydrant, which is not supposed to freeze when it's closed. But if you leave it open, it got down below freezing here, 16 degrees Fahrenheit, and it froze. So every night now I have to make sure I close that before I go in. But then I leave it on so I can fill my water jug here. These things are great. And there we go. So I get a lot of people asking about the video I did with the garage lip, you know, to keep the water from coming in, if it works or not. The answer is, it works amazingly well. It works amazingly well. It works great. Somebody did point out, like, what happens when you get water on this side of the lip? And the answer is, you sweep it out as best you can. But wait, there's more. Oh, that one's heavy. So I've found that I hate leaving the heat pump going all night. It just consumes electricity and you're not out here. It's not a well insulated area. So I do not like leaving it going all night long. It just consumes too much power. So when it's freezing like this, what I do is I have the heater going, door open so the fumes come out. And there's not many fumes actually, but they're there. And I get it up to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and then the heat pump can really do a nice job. So then I just move it out here and have a nice warm, and then shut the door. And that'll actually keep it warm in there for me to go in and warm up. And then out here, I have this to keep me going, and with the coverings on the stalls, it's enough to keep me warm. I'm gonna need to make space here today. I really like these new tables. I'm glad I finally caved and decided that working on the floor sucks. A lot of people asked me on the last video why I've decided to go plastic welding instead of doing something like fiberglass now that I have these molds built. It's a good question. The answer is we're a startup, right? I'm not just doing this for myself. And when you're running a business officially and you want to make a claim to something, you've got to follow certain rules. And one of the claims that we need to be able to make is that our systems are food safe. Now, food safe is legally defined, and you can't have so many chemicals leaching and doing this and doing that. So whenever you make something that you're going to declare as food safe, you've got to be able to prove that all the components that you use have been declared food safe. They all actually have a little certificate and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. We're going to be using plastic, and not all plastic is food safe, but the plastic we're going to be using, which is high density polyethylene, is certified food safe. So if we were to go with fiberglass, which would alleviate the need for me to use plastic welding and all that kind of stuff, then it wouldn't be food safe. Fiberglass isn't certified food safe. And you can make an argument for it, but arguments don't mean anything in a court of law unless there's a law behind that argument. So the easiest thing for us to do is, for this go-round, is to build everything out of plastic that's food safe. And the reason why I have to weld is, if you recall in the last video, I said we don't have the money to pay for the professional molds, nor do we have the money to go buy a $30,000 or even $10,000 thermal vacuum forming machine, which is how I want these tanks to actually be manufactured. I want them to be thermal formed, not injection molded. And it'd be very, very inexpensive. I already got them quoted. The molds are going to be $16,000, and then depending on quantity, you get your volume discounts there of how many you're going to make. So that's where we want to be. It's going to be faster, it's going to be less labor, and it'll be more robust in the long haul, and we won't have to worry about sealing anything. So to clarify, I'm going to be plastic welding. These molds are here to hold the plastic in place so I can do the welds. And if I have to, I'll end up using silicone again to make sure that everything stays watertight, like what I did with the stainless steel. But that's essentially what we're doing, is just swapping out stainless steel for plastic. And only for these versions that I'm building are we going to be plastic welding. Everything else in the future will be thermal vacuum sealed, or vacuum formed vacuum sealing. That's for me. Get the big guy out. There we go. The fun of opening all this stuff up and doing an assembly like what we did before. This is a kit, a CNC Router table kit. Comes with everything I need except for a table and the bits to set it all up. But I gotta assemble the whole thing like what we did the 3D printer. This is called the QueenBee. It's not sponsored, I bought it. I did the research. This is like the best entry-level price that you can find. It's not the best system that you can buy, but it's the best one at price. Oh, Bulkman. Bulkman 3D QueenBee is the version that we got, and it's a little over 4 foot is its cutting area that we're gonna be using. So that'll work for us. Some of you noted the boat in the background in the previous video. It's actually, my grandmother had passed away and bequeathed me that boat. And we're actually gonna end up selling it. So if you guys are interested in having a boat, it's a great fishing boat, keeping it indoors here. It's just too windy where we're at. We can't go out on it. And too rough where we're at. We just don't have the time. So we're gonna be selling it. So it's up on Craigslist if you guys wanna check it out. Let's get this stuff opened. All right, I just got everything laid out, and this book is really good. Let me show you everything. There's all the control stuff. Got Got the motor rods, the guides, and structure. All in all, compared to the 3D printer, this is probably 1/4 of the amount of work that needed to be done. So that makes me feel really good. But I still have bags and bags and bags of really small parts to deal with and lots of things to hook up. So I actually planned 3 days to get everything unpacked, set up, tested, and then actually get SolidWorks talking to the machine and getting some actual prints going, or some work going on it. So get my book going, go get the instructions, and get started. So we're got the instructions up on the phone there, and we got all the parts laid out. A lot less than 3D printer, which is great, but they did a good job. Everything's labeled, and that's really important because this takes a long time. Which is what I needed. I will give this piece of feedback for anyone looking at Bulkman 3D. The instructions to get to this point are decent. They're 90% good. There's only a few things that they could tighten up as they get into putting these out. So they're not bad. This is the mechanical assembly. Next are all the cables, the spindle, and a whole bunch of electronics, which they do not have good assembly instructions on. Cool seeing it come together though, and it's going to be really cool. We're going to get the plastics here eventually. They're still in transit due to the snowstorm. We'll see when they get here, but obviously I needed the time to get this all set up. I scheduled 3 days to go through the setup. I'm on day 2, so it looks like I'm pretty much on schedule here. Of course, the rooster starts crowing now. So Buddy the rooster, I think Betsy and Buddy and their pals. So thanks so much for following along. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified when I put out new videos. I will try to do more videos. Sorry everybody. It's just so busy, so hard to do all of this by yourself. Mrs. Martian is starting to do videos as well, so those are going to be way cool. Be sure to check those out. If you can do us a favor and share our content, we really appreciate that, especially on Facebook, because we've got deplatformed there. Not sure why. I asked them. They didn't want to say. It's the world we live in. So I also have some other stuff I'd like to share on YouTube regarding what's going on in the world today, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, subscribe to Facebook, Twitter, and if you really like what we're doing, you can help us out on Patreon, where there are a ton of new behind-the-scenes videos that are over there, so be sure to go check that out. In the meantime, everyone, this is Real Martian.